You ever get that really confusing, kind of sinking feeling in a relationship? That gut feeling where you just know something is off, but you can't for the life of you explain what it is?
Does that sound familiar? Where you're constantly second-guessing yourself, walking on eggshells, wondering what you did wrong this time? It's absolutely exhausting, and it can really make you start to question your own sanity.
But here's the thing. That feeling of constant chaos, it's not random. It is often a very specific, very recognizable pattern of behavior. No, you're not imagining it. You're just seeing tactics from a hidden playbook.
And by understanding this playbook, you can go from feeling totally lost and confused to a place of clarity. Really, just recognizing the plays is the very first step to getting your reality back.
So let's break down 5 of the most powerful and common tactics from this playbook. And I'm telling you, once you see them, you can't unsee them. Let's start with a really potent one.
So this is when someone's affection is basically like a faulty light switch. 1 minute, it's on, it's bright, it's amazing. And the next, total darkness. One day they're all over you with love. The next day, it's just radio silence. You literally never know which version of them you're going to get.
This quote just nails the psychological trap here. You basically become an addict. You're not even hooked on the actual kindness anymore, but on the hope that you'll get it again. That hope keeps you scrambling, trying to crack the code to get that good version of them back.
Think about it. A slot machine is addictive for one reason. The payout is random, and that unpredictability creates a total obsession. You just keep pulling the lever thinking, okay, the next one will be the jackpot. Well, it's the exact same principle here, but instead of gambling with money, you're gambling with your heart.
All right, next up we have future faking. This is when someone paints this gorgeous, elaborate picture of a future with you, moving in together, getting married, that dream vacation, but they have absolutely zero intention of ever making it happen. So here's how you spot it. The promises are always super vivid, right? They might even be looking at houses with you online. But the second you try to nail down an actual timeline, everything gets fuzzy. Next year suddenly becomes when things calm down, leaving you waiting and waiting for a tomorrow that never comes.
And this is why it is so insidious. Our brains hear these detailed stories and start treating them as if they're real. So you start making real-life sacrifices. Maybe you put up with bad behavior or turn down a job offer, all for a future that's completely made up. That promise? It's not a plan, it's a leash.
Okay, tactic number 3. You ever feel like you're in a race, but just as you get to the finish line, someone moves it another 100 feet away? That's what we call moving the goalposts. This comparison really says it all. In a healthy situation, the expectations are clear. But with this tactic, the game is completely rigged. You finally get that promotion they said would make everything perfect, and suddenly they're worried about your student loan debt? The real goal was never for you to succeed. It's to keep you constantly struggling.
And the result of this? Your self-confidence gets completely shredded. When you feel like nothing you do is ever good enough, you start to think, maybe the problem is me. And that's exactly where they want you, off balance and much easier to control.
Next up, one you've probably seen a million times, weaponized incompetence. This is basically just pretending to be bad at something to get out of doing your fair share.
And this is the cycle, right? First, they try to help, but it's a total disaster. Then, it's actually more work for you to fix what they did. So eventually you just give up and stop asking. And boom, just like that, they're free of that responsibility for good.
Our last tactic here is a real masterclass in emotional jujitsu. It's called victim reversal. This is that crazy-making situation where you bring up something that hurt your feelings, and somehow by the end of it, you're the one apologizing to them.
This quote is just devastatingly accurate. You come to them with a legitimate hurt, and they just fall apart. They start crying, or they accuse you of being mean, and suddenly you're the bad guy. Your original point is just gone.
And here's why it works so well. It weaponizes your own compassion against you. They use your natural instinct to comfort someone who's upset as a tool to completely silence you. It's a brilliant, if twisted, way to dodge all accountability.
So, we've gone through 5 different tactics, but they all share one single unifying goal.
And that's it right there. Control. It doesn't matter if it's through hope or confusion or guilt. The ultimate goal of all these behaviors is to get and keep power over your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions.
See, this isn't just about winning an argument. It's about undermining your sense of self. It's about getting you to a place where you don't trust your own reality anymore. Because when you don't trust yourself, you become compliant. And that is the ultimate form of control.
So after all that, what's the antidote? What's the way out? Well, the first, and honestly the most powerful step, is just awareness.
And let's be really clear here. The point of knowing this stuff isn't so you can go around labeling other people, not at all. The real point is to validate your own feelings. It's to give you a framework so you can finally look at a situation and say, wait a minute, this feeling is real, this pattern is real, I am not crazy.
Because ultimately, knowledge really is power. When you recognize the playbook, it doesn't just clear up the confusion, it gives you permission to trust your gut again. And that leaves us with one final thought to reflect on. Now that you can see the playbook, how will you start to trust your own story?